Hi guys, welcome back to Transcannabisveganic Jazzy. So I'm here at the park, just wandering around at the last bit. I was trying to go live before the sunset went off, but unfortunately it cut off before I could get the full description of it. But that's okay because I'm out on the bike and we're gonna go around and just see what's going on a little bit here. So join me a little bit. And if you guys have any questions or answers or concerns or really anything, just let me know. Post it down below for future live events. And I'm going to try and go live every Saturday at the park and hopefully have some meetups here with other trans, veganic, cannabis, amazing people of peace and honor and all kinds of things. So we'll check it out as we go along. But anyways, I wanted to just kind of enjoy a little bit. Oh wow, look at that nice piece of hair getting messed up from the travels around the mountain here. But yeah, I definitely was hoping to kind of go into some things and answer a few things. My last live show kind of got a little jacked up because the band I was seeing was a little too loud, and I do apologize. I'm not too sure still how to get the sound to not be so loud during recording. If you guys maybe have any quick tips or anything like that that I could get around that would be great. But otherwise, yeah, I definitely wanted to go over a few things and just kind of, enjoy some of the scenery while we're talking about it. So, I was reading a few days ago about some people that had a new version of some veganic powders and some different vegan makeups and things. So I was wondering if you guys knew any more about these, and if you guys could maybe post down below too and let me know. I definitely am interested in those things, so overall. But let's take a little cruise here as we're cruising and get to the lake before we really get down with the questions and answers and things like that. But earlier there was an amazing, I think, newly married couple. Maybe not. Maybe some just good friends out having a good weekend, but looked to be like a new married couple. So we'll see. But yeah, I definitely want to talk about some of the different unique aspects that we have for the new channel that just got put up. I had a couple new requests for some things, so we'll see where it goes with it. There's, probably 3 or 4 other new ideas that I wanted to put on the shelf with it, but overall there was this one main question that I wanted to try and answer, which was, where did I see myself in 20 years? And I thought that was a pretty good question, but the biggest answer would be, I don't know, because as life changes so quickly and the dynamics of, new possibilities with health and different things. Sorry guys, having a little bit of a failure because of the wind, but whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. So overall, I definitely could see that there was more possibilities for 25 years of all kinds of things happening and changing. So I wouldn't necessarily knock it down and say that I'm not going to be pretty much the same feel of a person overall, but I think as time goes on, I think we all get a little closer involved in being more dynamic and looking at some of the different aspects of health and wellness. And so that was one of the other questions that I had about my channel too, is the health aspect. And this is what I have to say. When we're dealing with friends and family and all kinds of, deaths and diseases and things that people get on, on the regular due to their diet. And then, doctors and friends will note to them, hey, maybe change your diet a little bit or blah, 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 and really skipping over the fact that really the diet is the whole key of why people are getting sick. The movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead pretty much explains that to the fullest. It really breaks it down in a way that makes you feel like you understand the overall of health and wellness. But then again, there's a lot of other new documentaries coming out showing that there's other new possibilities for health and things. Sorry if it's kind of dark, you guys. I'm trying to get it to stay, but I'll just hold it. But the biggest reason that I started looking into being vegan a long time ago was watching how many people got sick. And I've always been interested in like those that never got sick and those that were always sick all the time. I was always trying to concentrate on like what it is that they do a lot. And one thing I noticed that most of the people that have in common is that they drink. And when I looked, drinking alcohol, and when I looked into this when I was young, I found out that when you drink, your immunity goes down by like 800%. And the last time I checked, your health is everything to do with your immunity. Your immunity has everything to do with your health. So if you're eating foods and drinking things and involved in environments that are causing your overall vibration and wellness and everything else to go down, that would be one of the biggest reasons I would think that a person would need to change right away. But like a lot of people, they kind of find themselves in the middle a little bit, that doesn't have that feel that they can do it. It's kind of like that syndrome I like to call, if you can't do everything, do nothing at all, and I kind of feel like that's kind of like a self-learn helplessness kind of attitude where you can do something about it, but you choose not to do almost nothing about it. And when you have friends and family that have died like I have, and I know you guys have too, I'm not the only one out there, you soon realize that there is way more to this story than we knew. B, a lot of people are being lied to and have followed that path for many years, so they've lost touch with information and different things out there. This kid keeps running all of the young ducklings out of the way. He's a nuisance to the community of the little chicklins over there. That's so cute though. Look at him. He's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. But anyways, if people look deeper into health purposes and didn't just look at each fad as something silly that comes around every once in a while and works for some and doesn't work for another, that's where people are failing the most on nutrition too, is they don't have the new capabilities to say to a friend, hey, you've been involved in this life for a while. I feel like, I can help you. Please listen to me. Give me a chance, and most people, they give people a chance when they're on their last leg sometimes, that sometimes it's the sad part. It's almost like people have to be on their last leg or experience something similar to that to go, hey, maybe I should look a little deeper into stuff, care a little bit more, or, learn more research of like, why is things so out of proportion with health? What can I do to gain a bigger and broader spectrum of health back in my life to see exactly the truth that may or may not be physical for some people, but in others you can learn it. I mean, at a young age, you show anyone an animal and they want to love and cuddle and just be in awe. And I find veganism and transgenderedness like many things that have been oppressed over time and been enslaved and things like that, I would think that especially transgendered people would know firsthand and would be immediately want to be vegan because A, they know what it's like to be singled out, to be shunned away. And in this case, transgendered people aren't being eaten. So, I mean, it would be even more crazy if you were not only being shunned out, but you were being hunted down and then eaten with a bowl of extra vegan sauce, which the funny thing is that every single meat eater is eating a vegan. Go figure, a meat eater is eating a vegan for nutrition. So I just want to point out right there that if you're not vegan and you're eating meat, you're eating another vegan. So it's funny that you have a problem with veganism, but you have no problem eating another one. That doesn't make sense at all. He's on the hunt. He's on the hunt. Look at him. Oh, look at her. I call that one Karen. Karen's like, you know what? I'm not going to hang out here. I'm going to go hang out on the side. But once you realize these things, cows are vegans. There's so many animals that are vegan out there, okay? I'm not going to point out each one. Do your research. Look this up. Figure this out. But realize that these animals are beings and they didn't get their nutrition second-handedly. And it's funny that people are eating what they say protein when people are dying of too much protein anyways. No one's dying of lack of protein, first off. People are dying of lack of nutrition, though, even with a ton of protein. So that's something else people need to look into. Is do their food have nutrition? Does it have adequate micro and macronutrients? Not something they think that is the only key to building muscle, because it doesn't do that at all whatsoever. So when you start to break down that transition a little bit more, you can see that, you know, hey, I have the ability to juice once in a while. I have the ability to, you know, put fruits and fibers intact, whole fruits and vegetables intact. That gives you the new abilities to be healthy all day, every day. And that really is the key to overcoming depression and overcoming different learning disabilities and things that happen over time, because people get what they call mind fog or mind block, and a lot of that comes down to what nutritional levels are you abiding by to have this feelings. You know, when people eat certain sugars and eat certain candies and eat certain this, they act very different. Just like when someone drinks alcohol or has, you know, stimulants of like caffeine, and, you know, I can go on and on, cigarettes, it goes on and on. And people always tell me, then why is it that I use cannabis? But cannabis is vegan. It kills no one and has killed no one, and it will kill no one. So why would I, I'm not going to be able to eat a tobacco plant. And even if I could, I don't want it. There's nothing out of a tobacco plant that I would want. There's nothing out of an alcohol or an agave plant that I want other than vegan. Like if I can make, you know, there's a gentleman that's making surfboards out of agave, actual stems. Now that's awesome. Making agave syrup. Now that's awesome. That's cruelty free. But, you know, making tequila. No, that's not very environmentally safe or sound for families and friends, things like that. So I would definitely stay away from those things. But looking more towards the health aspect, getting back to that, there is tons and tons of research showing that just by going on a plant-based diet and living just mindfully caring for one another as individuals and friends and as family goes a long way. I mean, most people have pets in their lives, and they don't make the connection that they're eating one, but they enslave and have another as a pet. So let's put that into a real perspective. You have one group of humans that allow black or white or whatever, and then you have another one that you're eating and that you enslave on the other side. So you can see the huge disconnect that people have when it comes to health, when it comes to food, when it comes to freedom. So you need to be able to step back and look at those things and say, hey, I definitely can feel others' pain. I know others are feeling my pain. You know, maybe we should step up together and fill in the gaps with love and concern, and honorability towards each other, towards the earth, things like that. I personally believe that most people, especially transgendered people, just like me, will soon see that there is a lot more available for health, because being transgendered is all about keeping your health up, all about keeping your immunity skyrocketing. You want to make sure that you're always exercising every day. I ride out here all the time. I used to have all kinds of fancy bikes. I still have a couple of them. I've had a few crashes here and there, and had to sell some. I've had some hard times like anybody. And truly, it still is nice to be able to get on a bike with my health and improve my health. Some people say, well, I only got a little bit left of my health. Well, that's just enough to keep going with more, because unless you're really dead or in a wheelchair or really don't have much at all, you have a lot more than a lot of people. Get up, get moving, get healthy, be free. But on top of that, learn how to help others to be free and be nice and kind to one another. Don't be mean to bugs and little beings and things. Just because you might be a bigger being doesn't give you the right to be mean to other beings of any size. Just like it doesn't give you the right to eat other beings, maybe because they're not smarter than you or things like that. Because there's a lot of humans that aren't very smart. And do you go around killing them and eating them and putting barbecue sauce on them? No. We have tons of Down syndrome, and a ton of mentally ill uh, men and women in their late 80s and 50s and 30s, and teenagers and babies. Do we go around thinking that they're the next barbecue? No, and we shouldn't be looking at others like that either. So I don't want to make this too much of a rant about that, other than make sure you look deeper and do your research into it, and make sure that you give peace to one another, and looking more deeper at the facts that we can go around and look at beautiful things like this, sunsets, lakes, all kinds of things in life. We just need to pick up each other's vibration and help each other. Make sure we give love, peace, and cannabis veganic greens. Because at the end of the day, that might be it for some people. That might be the end of their day. So let's give praise. Let's take a moment to meditate. Then I'm going to end this feed and just let you know that I enjoyed this 20-minute, basically every Sunday to Saturday. I'm going to try and keep it like Saturdays to try and hang out with you guys. And if you guys would like to join me at the park, I'll put the descriptions down below, and we can start having a trans cannabis veganic meetup. Now, I do want to say too that, I do respect, the laws and different things. I may not agree with it, but I'm not going to be doing things here inappropriately. There's times and places to do things properly. I have my own medical license and things, but you guys know the drills and the rules and to things. Let's not be silly about it. Remember, safety comes first for everything. So let's take a minute to meditate, and then we're going to get out of here, okay? Thanks, guys, for joining me on Transcannabisveganic Jazzy. Thank you for joining me, guys. I love you. Peace, love. And Transcannabisveganic Jazzy is out. Bye, guys. Thank you.